Good afternoon, everyone. Lonsay Mechanist here with another World of Warships video. Last time I spoke to you all, I did the showcase of the Tier 1 cruisers. These were the ships you actually started the game with, and the tier that you started with. Now, if you upgrade from Tier 1 to Tier 2, you gain access to certain special features. Not only do you gain access to torpedoes, but you also gain access to destroyers. These are the first branch-offs from the cruisers. Now, what I'm going to do tonight is something different, because when I did the Tier 1 showcase, I did all of it once, and I uploaded 5 videos at times, five videos, so you can imagine I was a bit tired. What I'm going to do instead is 2 videos a night. I'm going to do basically every nation, most nations. The Italians and the Pan-Asia are, again, the exception. Most nations' tech trees have 2 Tier 2 ships, a destroyer and a cruiser. The Italians do not have destroyers, and the Pan-Asian group does not have cruisers. So I would be doing those 2 together. Okay, so the first one is the United States. You'll notice we've got a cruiser and a destroyer. Let's start with the destroyer. Let's start with the cruiser first, shall we? Since that is actually the first ship you unlock, and then as you gain experience with the cruiser, you eventually unlock the destroyer. Okay, as you can see, I have her fully upgraded. As you can see on the evolution tree, you go from the Albany to the St. Louis. You gain the upgrades for the St. Louis, and then you get the Wickes destroyer, and then you go to the Phoenix, which is the Tier 3 cruiser. Her loadout is actually, she is improved. Albany only had high explosive rounds. The St. Louis has high explosive and armor piercing. She still only has 1 consumable, the damage control party. She has the 5 spaces for the boosters and the space for the camouflage. Her stats. Her survivability is good. 29,000, almost 30,000 hit points, and her armor ranges from 6 to 102 millimeters. Her artillery is registered as a 38, registered at the number 38. That is excellent for this tier, and as you can see, she has indeed quite the firepower. Her main battery consists of 14 152 millimeter Mark 6 cannons. They have a range of 11 kilometers, a reload time of 7.8, basically 8 seconds, and they can turn 180 degrees in 22 seconds. But that is actually the guns that are exposed on the deck, not the guns that are on inside the ship. You'll see when I show the armor. She got her high explosive shell damage is 2100. She has a 10% chance to set a 10.5% chance to set fire to enemy ships. Her armor piercing shell damage is 3090, almost 3100. Her secondary armament is 18 single mount 76.2 millimeter Mark 4 cannons. These have an effective range of 2.5 kilometers and a reload time of 5 seconds. Now, as you can switch ammunition with the main battery, you cannot do so with the secondary, and the secondary only uses high explosive shells, which deal 1100 damage and have a 7.5% chance to set something on fire. Her anti-air defense is rudimentary. It is 8 Hotchkiss Mark 1 machine guns. These were early machine guns, not exactly Maxims, but pretty close to it. These were actually added. Let's see. Yeah, they were actually added on the St. Louis Hull B. So by default, she does not come with anti-air defense. You actually upgrade to that. Her maneuverability is 35. That's a little bit on the low scale for this. She's got a max speed of 22 knots. She's only 2 knots faster than the Albany. She's still slow compared to some of the other cruisers. Her turning radius is 450 meters, and her rudder shift time is 6.4 seconds. Concealment is good. It's not excellent, but it's not, you know, the norm. It's set registered at 76. She's detectable at sea at about 9.1 kilometers, 11 kilometers after firing main gun or when the ship is on fire. She's detectable by air at 5.4 kilometers, 8.5 after firing the main gun or when on fire. And the guaranteed detectability range, basically, this is the guaranteed detectability range is basically you have to be right on top of her to actually be seeing her, and that is 2 kilometers, and when firing in smoke is 4 kilometers. Okay, her armor is actually pretty impressive when you look at it. The armor spectrum goes from light blue, which is 6 to 14 millimeters, to 76 to 160 centimeters in the dark orange, almost red. Again, this is her fore and aft hull armor. As you can see from the outline, she is a big girl. She's got a very deep draft, but she is a big cruiser. She's got a very good, there's her beam, starboard and port side. You can probably notice all the guns she's got on her. She's got some heavy art. She has got a lot of artillery in her. Okay, next is the Superstructure Armor. Again, she is lightly armored in the superstructure with the exception of the commander's area in the front of the ship, which is in the light orange. So 34 to 75 for the commander, 6 to 14 for the forward bridge, the smokestacks, the funnels, and the aft bridge or aft castle. Next is her Casemate Armor. This is where her broadside guns are stationed. As you can see, her armor is thick in this area. Except, well, at the either end of the ship, if you're firing at the ship from the fore or aft position, the armor is not too thin. The armor is not very thick. But if you're firing from a broadside position, if you want to pierce that armor, you are going to have some heavy caliber ammunition to do so. And if we highlight the Citadel, you can see why. Because that is actually a small Citadel. She goes deep, but she also sticks up above the waterline a little bit. If we highlight the Casemate Armor, you can see that the casemate forms an armored belt that basically prevents plunging fire from entering the Citadel. And again, the Citadel is where the vital mechanics of the ship are: the engine room, the boilers, etc., and the crew quarters. Let's see. However, as you can see, as highlighted, the ship does not have very thin armor on the sides, but since this basically means she has very little torpedo protection. Yeah, the 76 to 160 is basically cruiser grade armor, and that forms the armored belt on the sides. Next is her cannons, and as you can see, her cannons are actually moderately armored. Yeah, they're actually moderately armored except for the fore and aft deck guns. Most of her main guns are located in the casemate, so they are protected, with the exception of, again, the single gun on the bow and the single gun on the stern. All in all, she's got some good armor, just not good torpedo protection. But then again, by the time when she was built, torpedoes and submarines were actually not that commonplace. Submarines had been experimented with. Torpedoes were actually 1906. The torpedo was actually an experimental weapon. Not exactly very reliable. No one had actually thought of the idea of actually marrying torpedoes to submarines. Her perks is she's agile. She has an above average ability to change direction. She changes direction easily, so she's got a very quick rudder shift time. She's got plenty of guns. No shit. That's like 32 cannons. That's 32 cannons. Of course she's got guns aplenty. But she is slow. 22 knots. A typical big cruiser of the pre-dreadnought era, this ship was armed with numerous artillery. Again, no shit. Whose rate of fire was quite rapid for her time. And an armor belt protecting the propulsion, but featured only moderate speed. She entered service in 1906, and there were 3 ships in her series. Alright, that's the cruiser. Now for the destroyer, which is the Wickes type destroyer. As you can see, I've also upgraded the Wickes. When you get the hull, when you upgrade the hull, you actually do get the anti-air armament. So, yeah, so the anti-air does not come standard on the Wickes as well. But you get to it. Her loadout, she has high explosive shells, armor piercing shells. Her high explosive shell does 1500 damage as a range of 8.7 kilometers and a chance to set fire of 6%, reload time of 7 seconds. That's actually pretty slow when you compare it to the that's actually the same speed as the cruiser, I think. Armor piercing shells, they do a max damage of 1730, slightly more than HE. Firing range is 8.7, reload 7.4. She's got torpedoes. The torpedoes are most effective against cruisers and battleships and carriers. Maximum damage is 9,900. Torpedo range is 5.2 kilometers, and the speed is 59 knots. Unlike the cruiser, she has 3 consumables. The damage control party, which repairs damages, firefights, and flooding. She's got a smoke generator, which obscures her from vision and allows you to launch and basically renders you invisible temporarily. And then she's got an engine boost. This increases the ship's maximum speed according to its base parameters. So the maximum speed is plus 8%. She's again got space for 5 boosters and space for camouflage. These are her stats. Her survivability is 10. She's got low hit points, 8,900. Her armor is paper thin at 6 to 13 millimeters. She's a destroyer. She is not built to slug it out with other ships. She is meant to rely on speed and maneuverability to win the day. Her artillery, she's got 4 102 millimeter Mark 12 cannons. That is a very small cannon. In fact, I think, I don't know the caliber in inches. I don't have my conversions handy at the moment, but that is a small cannon. Let's see. Torpedoes, she's got 533 millimeter triple launchers. She's got 4 of them, 2 on starboard, 2 on port. Her anti-air defense, she starts off, I believe, with 2 50 caliber or the 12.7 millimeter Browning Mark M2 Ma Deuce machine guns. And when you upgrade the hull, she gets a 76.2 millimeter cannon to protect with flak. But still, not very good with AA defense. Maneuverability is excellent, as expected of a destroyer. Maximum speed is 34 knots. Turning circle radius is 520 meters. Rudder shift time 2.7 seconds. She can turn on a dime, ladies and gentlemen. Her concealment, detectability by range, 5.6 kilometers. After firing main gun is 8.7. When on fire, if she's on fire, she's 7.6 kilometers. Detectable by air at 2.9 kilometers. You gotta be right on top of her to see her by air. That is actually kind of commonplace with most destroyers. Detectability after firing the main gun by air is 4.9. On fire is 5.9. Her guaranteed detectability range, again, that means you're basically right on top of her. You are basically staring them in the face. Is 2 kilometers, and when in smoke, the detectability is 2 kilometers. Okay, as you can see with her armor, very thin armor that large shells may overpenetrate. So you actually do have a bit of saving grace. If large shells hit you, they will do damage, but they won't arm and explode. They may just punch right through, but tier 2 ships usually have a lot of guns, so a lot of guns punching a lot of holes in your ship means you'll be sinking pretty quickly. This is her base hull, the fore and aft. Unlike the cruisers, she does not have an armored area for the commander. It's all light armor. These are her guns. As you can see, they're highlighted. She's got open shielded turrets, one on the fore, 2 amidship, and 1 aft by the depth charges and torpedo tubes. Now, the depth charge racks are just for show. There are no submarines in Legends yet. That may be coming eventually. I don't know. I just play the game. I don't develop. I don't work with the developers. And then you've got her Citadel. Her Citadel is actually pretty big. It rises above the water quite a ways. It rises above the water quite a ways, and it is very thinly armored. If you take some direct hits, you're going to be in trouble. Best to rely on the agility and speed of the destroyer to keep out of the way. Overview with her. She's got 2 perks, 1 positive and 1 negative. Her positive is extended smoke. That means her smoke screens last longer than normal. Her downside is that she's got small guns, modest guns. She's got low caliber guns. She does not do much damage with them. She is one of the massively produced destroyers in the U.S. Navy, featuring flush deck design. The key difference from her preceding class was the significantly increased propulsion power, resulting in higher speeds and better maneuverability. The Wickes class entered service in 1918. This is right at the end of World War I. Up until World War I, ships like the Wickes and a few others, they were not called destroyers. They were called torpedo boats or torpedo boat destroyers, as like I said, small cannons, but they had torpedoes. This was eventually shortened to just destroyer, and the name stuck. The designation for destroyers is DD. The designation for cruisers is CA. Just in case y'all didn't know that already. I don't know why I didn't cover it until now, but, well, that's just how I work, I guess. She entered service in 1918. There were 111 ships of her series produced. And she is the prototypical American destroyer, a 4-stacker. The 4-stacker is a term synonymous with early destroyers of American design. They were small, but they were effective, and I believe they were actually pretty popular. But anyway, that's the destroyer. So, our first match is going to be versus the AI, and then I'm going to switch over to PvP for a match. As you can see, we have our victory bonuses. I don't expect to get much experience from doing the AI, but well, the AI, I guess, could be a guaranteed win. Against the PvP, you never know. The match might drag on or it might cut short. Anyway, alright, we're going to start off with the cruiser first, and then we're going to go to the destroyer. So, if everyone's ready, here we go. There we go. Turn the mic back on. Okay, looks like we are all cruisers except for one battleship. Excuse me. Let's see, and it's all players on our side. That's good. All right. This is the polar map. Capture the enemy base is the objective. Yeah, she's taking her time getting up to top speed. From the forward position, she's only got one cannon available. The same for the aft position, I believe.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
Yeah. The same for the aft position, but she's got a broadside of 8 cannons. Okay, so we've got the Friant, the Bogadar, and the Danae. Those are other tier 3 cruisers. Hang on a minute. No, we got some tier 3 cruisers in here as well, and a tier 3 battleship. All right. Now we got to be careful with the tier 3 cruisers. They have torpedoes. Ooh, someone just dealt heavy damage to Friant. Okay. The Danae is a tier 3. Let's see if we can't rock her world.
Our team has taken the lead.
Let's go ahead and start making our turn. Okay, we scored some Citadel hits, did some damage, but we didn't sink her. Yep, as you can see, she sent out torpedoes. That is the Bogadar. That is another tier 2. We really don't have to worry. Okay, we don't have to worry about torpedoes with her. Yeah, that's not gonna make it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Adjusting fire. You gotta adjust when aiming with the cannons. You gotta adjust your aim. Aim where they're going to be, not where they're at. Okay, I'm going to switch back to incendiary rounds. Okay, yeah, that's the battleship over there, the Wyoming. Yeah, the Bogater is the only thing left now. That was low, but we set him on fire. Again, that was low. And that hit the rocks. Yep, the Bogater's dead. Okay, that was the versus AI match. Didn't exactly get a good showing of that, but... well, we had a lot more players that time. Okay. Now we're going to switch to standard. This is going to be a little bit different. So I hope you all will bear with me. And don't boo too loudly if I get sunk, but well, that's just part of the game. I mean, you have fun with the game. One thing that's a possibility, though, with standard, once you go from Tier 1 to Tier 2, you are essentially in the game. If you go into PvP with Tier 2, there is a chance you'll be up-tiered. That means you'll be put into a game with several Tier 3 ships. The Tier 3 ships are a bit tougher, and you have to think on your feet in order to survive the matches. You can be put in with you can actually be put in with Tier 3 destroyers, cruisers, just battleships, even a carrier. Okay, the map this time again is polar. The objective is to capture the base. We've got 2 divisions on our side. They've got 1 division. A division is basically a group of ships that group together to basically cooperate during a match. This makes it easier to win, or they can also lose. It depends. Okay, we got several Tier 2s, some Tier 3s.
Battle starts.
Switch over to my armor piercing shells. Let's see. My best bet.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
Yeah, the Wyomings are.
Fire on the enemy warship.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, the Wyomings are battles. Okay, we got 2 battleships. They've got 2. We got 3 cruisers. They got 3. They got 2 cruisers. We've got 2 destroyers. They got 3, and both sides of a carrier. So.
I need help. Acknowledged. Enemy battleship sighted. Enemy aircraft carrier sighted. Attention, reporting the target position. All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
All right.
All stations.
Okay, we got a
Strategic target.
Gabold and a St. Louis over here. I'm gonna see if I can't give our allies a hand. Okay, we got some hits on the enemy cruiser. Looks like he might be hitting them torpedoes though. No, no, no. Let me swing her around.
Stations, concentrate fire on the target.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes to starboard.
Okay, we're getting nailed by a battleship, I'll bet. Yeah. Even though she turns on a dime, she's not exactly agile.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
Ooh. Yeah, that was horribly aimed.
Destroyer detected.
Yeah, he got pecked, so he's retreating.
Enemy battleship sighted. All stations, requesting fire on the designated target.
Aerial torpedoes. Okay, I'm the only cruiser left. We got one destroyer left. We've still got both our battleships and our carrier. Okay, we just got hit by torpedoes. Yeah, we're getting hammered pretty good. See if I can at least hit this Kohlberg. Got the Kohlberg.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
All right, we got a Kuma bearing down on us. Fire, put it out.
The ship is on fire.
Ooh, our ship just are okay.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
And there's both of their battleships. I better turn
Concentrate
away.
Fire on the target.
Okay, they got both of their battleships. They got their carrier and 2 destroyers remaining. Okay, the enemy Wyoming just took out one of ours. We got a destroyer in the base. Oh, yeah, we just got lit up. Sorry.
The ship is on fire. Torpedoes to starboard.
Yep, we got hit by
The enemy team is taking
the enemy destroyer. So, we're gonna lose this match, but hopefully I showed y'all what a tier 2 PvP kind of looks like. Okay. Well, tier 2 is actually normally beginner players who have just gotten out of tier 1, but sometimes you do have experienced players. And there's the underbelly of the ship. She has completely capsized. She's got 2 screws, as you can see. You got experienced players who will go through to the next, who will actually go back to unlock previous ships that they may have missed of different nations. Yeah, these players, they may have tier 7 ships of different types, and they'll go back to tier 1 to unlock a new tree or continue on. It's just something to look out for. So, that was the St. Louis. Now we're going to go for the Wickes. The Wickes is the destroyer. We'll be using, we'll be going first to the versus AI and then PvP. Excuse me. Alright, so this is our versus AI match. We've got a full team of players. We've got 4 destroyers, 4 cruisers, and a battleship.
General quarters.
Now the destroyer is pretty darn quick, so we ought to be moving at a fair clip. Our group is comprised of a destroyer. We got the Wyoming, we got a Phoenix, and a St. Louis with us. Yeah, we got not only some tier 2s, but some tier 3s in here.
All forces, capture that area.
I'm going to be starting by heading to sea.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
Okay, we just spotted the enemy's one of the enemy's battleships, the enemy's lone battleship, the Ishizuchi.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target. Smoke generator started.
Okay, yeah, we got the... Okay, whoa.
Problem solved, sir. Smoke screen set.
Okay, we just got the enemy destroyer. We're still obscured by the smoke. Gonna try and loop around to see if I can't get the torpedoes on the other side in range.
Our team is taking the lead. Our victory is in sight.
Oh, might not need to.
Our victory is
Got him.
enemy cruiser foundered.
Oh, we got the big boy, the Ishizuchi coming in. All right, let's reverse. Come on, turn, turn, turn. Okay, that took out the Ishizuchi, and it looks like the battle's over. Enemy team lost all their points. Wow. So they had basically wiped out all. So we basically had wiped out their whole fleet already, with the only exception being the Gusano, the Italian ship. Okay, that was the destroyer AI battle. Now let's take her to standard and let's see what we can do with her. This is going to be the last standard. This is going to be the last match with the United States ships. The next ones I plan to do the Japanese for the second video. That'll be later on after a bit. Just letting you know ahead of time. All right, hang on a second. All right, the match looks to be we got a carrier. So we got tier 2s and 3s mixed together. They've got a division. Got 5 destroyers, 3 cruisers and a carrier. Pretty much the same, so no battleships. Alright, we got a G101. I think that's the German destroyer. G101, yeah, that's a tier 3 German destroyer. We're gonna, I guess we're gonna try and, let's see, we're paired with also a Kuma Japanese cruiser. The Kuma is the tier 3 Japanese cruiser. Okay, we're gonna, since the game is to capture the base, we're gonna basically try to stick together as a unit. See if we can't loop around. I'm gonna try to see if we can't loop around here. Okay. Maximum range of the torpedoes. Yeah, she's out of range. Yeah, I guess the German's firing his torpedoes already.
Attention, reporting the target position.
Okay, yeah, he's high. Okay, he's deployed his smoke. I'm about to duck in as well.
Enemy destroyer detected.
Ooh. That just did a hit to his engines. I cannot see his torpedo tubes, though. Yep, G101 just got him. First blood. Yep, there's his torpedoes. Okay, the Kuma just took out the Katori, but the Kuma was taken out by the Phoenix.
Support the allied target.
Okay, we've taken out 2 destroyers and a cruiser. We've lost 1 destroyer and 1 cruiser. Okay. Oh, he just beached himself. He just beached himself. He's backing up, though. Okay, those are carrier torpedoes.
Smoke generator started. The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir.
Okay, he's out of range.
Screen set. Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Alright, let's activate an engine boost.
Engine boost activated.
Okay, the Darsky just took out the, okay. Yep, looks like I might be dead here. I can't maneuver. Yep. Carrier got me. Okay, we only got 1 ship left. We've already lost our carrier? What the heck was that guy doing? Well, the idea was sound at first, but apparently we lost our Consumables. Well, let's see. Yeah. This, yeah, this is going to be a defeat. We got 12 hits with the cannons with the destroyer, 3,699 damage. Like I said, I am not the best player at World of Warships Legends. I never claimed to be. And I am not, well, destroyers and battleships are not my best area. More cruiser and carrier, to be honest. Okay, what he's doing is actually pretty smart. He's heading for the base. We got torpedo bombers, though. The enemy carrier is a Rhine. That's a German carrier, so he can only drop 2 torpedoes at a time. Oh, the enemy destroyer's pursuing him. He's just launched. And there's the Karlsruhe, which is a German cruiser. Can he get this Shenyang? Nope. He didn't. Okay. So that was the 2 battles with the Wickes destroyer. The next video will be focusing on the the Japanese cruiser and destroyer. So when I load that, y'all enjoy when that gets uploaded. Remember to please like and subscribe. Don't be afraid to leave a comment if you like the content. Please leave a comment. If you'd like to see something else, hey, let me know. Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna get ready for the Japanese next. So, here goes.